I think for the most part, it's people that have become sedated. You know, they've forgotten their dreams, but they've forgotten that they've forgotten them. Pink Floyd's Comfortably Numb is about this, right? They've become comfortably numb. I think most people, so I have this friend, and this story really hit me. So during the pandemic, running a podcast, I was able to have the thing that I feel I'm good at, my artistic pursuit and outlet, that was available for me to continue. It was actually increased because I didn't have other stuff to do. And I have a friend that's a barber, and he got a job at a supermarket. Barbers shut down for a long period of time, and he got a job at a supermarket stacking shelves overnight. And I asked him, I was like, man, how are you finding the new job? It's a big change. He's like, do you know what it is? I actually don't mind the work. I don't mind the people that I work with. But man, I miss being good at something.
Right. Well,
dude, that hit me so hard.
Right.
I missed being good at something.
Yeah. Well, people need the opportunity to be good at something. So then you might ask yourself, well, what's the best antidote to the discomfort of life? And you might say, well, it's comfort. And I suppose that's what you act out when you swaddle a baby. But a better antidote is something like adventure to excellence. And that's far better antidote to suffering than the mere absence of suffering. So, not to say that the mere absence of suffering, that's not nothing, you know.
Well, I think partly because life is so difficult and challenging that unless you give it everything you have, the chances are very high that it will embitter you, and then you'll be a force for darkness and not good. And so, you know, the fact that life is short and can be brutal can terrify you into hiding and avoiding. You can flip that on its head and understand that since you're all in anyways, you might as well take the risks that are adventurous. There isn't anything more adventurous than the truth. So why is that a moral obligation? Well, if you hide and you don't let what's inside of you out, and you don't bring into the world what you could bring, and you become cynical and bitter, you will start doing very dark things. Not only will you not add to the world what you could add, but you'll start being jealous of people who are competent and doing well and work to destroy them. So that's the pathway to hell. Really.
Nothing is permanent. Nothing is permanent. And a lot of times you have to learn to perform without motivation. And that's what people think. They think I need to have this motivation to work out, to study, to be better. So if they don't have it, they just don't do it. And that's where you fail. You have to learn to train your mind well beyond motivation. If you have motivation, that's great. That's some kindling to the fire. All it takes is a little bit of fucking spark, you can burn the whole forest up. But motivation, you have to learn to exist without it. You have to learn to be your best self when you're least motivated. I didn't teach myself victory first. I taught myself failure. And people are like, that's so depressing. Is it? When you're 300 pounds and you can't read and write and you're fucked up, you know how many times you're gonna fucking fail on that process? So if you don't know how to fail, there is no victory. When you have buried yourself in such a deep fucking hole, you better teach yourself how to fail first. Because if you sit in failure for too long, you will never come out of it. So I taught myself how to fail properly. No one teaches you how to fucking fail. And then eventually, I started getting a few victories. If you put yourself in the fire and you come out every fucking day like this, brush it off, not scared to go back in there again, come on, man. Your truth is real, because human beings need to hear this. They need to stop hearing these hacks. There's no fucking hack, bro. Do it, and do it, and do it, and do it. That's the hack. The hack is gonna fucking suck. And that's what I realized. It sucks to wake up every morning of your life and do it again, do it again, do it again. It's not just there. It's not just there permanently for me. I woke up like every human being does and goes, man, I'm a fucking piece of shit today. How the hell is this gonna work out for me? And you fight that. And you fight that. You don't override it. There's no override button. It's the conversation in your fucking, in your head. So how do you do that? We don't have enough of these conversations about the real conversation that every human being is having. And they have no idea how to get out of it, but they do. It's you against you. You against you.
Be the guy who embraces the ugly, the miserable. Be the guy who embraces hard work, the grind. Don't be afraid of being hurt. Don't be afraid of sacrificing some blood.
You be that warrior in that garden. And you stand strong. You be a strong man. You be a good man. And you just let the world rage around you.
That most men live lives of quiet desperation. It's one of my favorite quotes ever because it's true. And I've been that guy. You're just in this world where you just can't wait to just run away. But the only way I could be this person now is if I took that chance when I was 21, when I was dead broke and had my cars repossessed and all that stuff. That's the only way you ever get where you want to go. You have to take a path that's dangerous. And most people want to take the safe path. And the safe path leaves you stuck in quiet desperation. Almost every time. It's hell.
Your family is looking for that one guy right now. They're looking for that one guy who's strong, who's that pillar for the family in hard times. Make sure they look around and find you. These are the times right now for you to step up. Be that guy that can take anything.
Reminder that if you want to be exceptional, you're going to be different from everyone else. That's what makes you exceptional. You can't fit in and also be exceptional. Both have discomfort. When you fit in, you have internal conflict because you're not being 100% you. When you're exceptional, you have external conflict because everyone sees you as different. Pick one. When your friends start to say, "You've changed," remember, it's because they don't know how to say, "You've grown."
Your current situation is not your final destination. There's more to your life. And I know right now it's hard for you to believe that, but I need you to believe it. Like everything you're currently facing is building you for something greater. You're more than your struggles. You're more than your pain. I know you feel like nobody understands you. Nobody gets you. I know you feel alone and isolated. I want you to flood your life with appreciation. Even for the little things, the small things, for breath in your body, for your heartbeat. Because appreciation is the first step to elevating your life. So I want to tell you, I'm proud of you for not giving up when it's so easy to.
Your work ethic reflects your gratitude, which ultimately leads to your results. The grateful person shows up early. The grateful person gives full effort. The grateful person asks several questions. Look around you, and you can tell those who are grateful by their work ethic. Those who are great in any profession understand it starts with the understanding that you are capable of going from nothing to everything.
We know that our young man has tremendous abilities and potentialities intrinsically his own. There is no other human being on earth exactly like him. We know there are, within his job, wide fields of interest, which, if he knew about them, would change his life to one of excitement and make him a real contributor in the economy instead of a feeder. He walks down a narrow road. Right in his own job and stretching clear to the horizon are the rich sunlit fields of opportunity. But between him and these fields, there's a tall hedge which shields them from his view. This hedge is called conformity. And until he breaks through, cuts his way through that thorny barrier, he will never see nor know the joys of living fully extended. But how can we do this? Well, first, we must begin to think. We must look at ourselves objectively for what we really are, distinct individuals with unlimited opportunity for development in the free world. Second, we must ask ourselves some questions. Do I want to be like the people I'm emulating? Are these the people I want my children to be like? I know they're good people, but do they know where they're going? Are they successful? Are they as successful in living as I want to be? If I continue to go along as I have in the past, where will I be 5 years from now? Am I operating at or near peak efficiency? Am I really a pro, or have I been doing just enough to get by? Am I devoting a part of my leisure time each day to thinking of ways and means by which I can increase my contribution, realizing as I do that my rewards in life will always be in exact proportion to my service? Am I following an intelligent course for improving my mind and increasing my knowledge, or do I think I already know enough? Now, I expect my company and my country to improve with the passing of each year. But what am I doing personally to keep pace with this improvement? Have I thought much and told my children about how lucky we are to live in a free society in which we can go where we please without having to ask for passes, work where we please and at the job of our choice, vote and worship as we please and say what we please? Am I aware of the responsibilities that go with freedom? The responsibility to produce as much as I can so that my freedom may be maintained. The responsibility to become so effective as an individual that even if times should become bad for a while, I could go right on providing for my family through the crisis. Third, when I get up in the morning, do I know exactly what it is I'm working toward? Have my life and my work a clear direction and a worthwhile purpose? Or am I simply marking time and going along with the crowd? Am I motivated by what I really want out of life, or am I mass motivated? Harry Emerson Fosdick once wrote, "No horse gets anywhere until he's harnessed. No steam or gas ever drives anything until it's confined. No Niagara has ever turned into light and power until it's tunneled. No life ever grows great until it's focused, dedicated, disciplined." You see, it is actually easier to win. All we have to do is know some of the rules, and then follow them. P.G. Hamilton wrote, "A strong life is like a ship of war, which has its own place in the fleet and can share in its strength and discipline, but can also go forth alone to the solitude of the infinite sea. We ought to belong to society and have our place in it, but be capable of an individual existence outside of it. And it's never too late. For with a purpose, a goal, a man will frequently do more and travel farther in a year than he might otherwise in a lifetime without one."